Hi, I'm Matt Glass with Orion Technical Solutions. I'm going to talk about a issue or a mistake that I see a lot of technicians make when they're troubleshooting. It can really throw them into those fun little circles and so forth. And that is the continuity check. A lot of the meters have this option for continuity, and it's wonderful. If you check and there's low resistance, you'll hear the beep. But you got to be really careful. And I'm going to explain kind of why. The idea is you can tell if something's open, closed, etc. Well, I'm going to take this circuit here. I've got basically, I'm just going to go across switch 3. I'm going to see if switch 3 is truly closing when I close the circuit breaker. I've disconnected power and all that. So switch 3 is between terminal blocks 15 and 16. So with switch 3 in the opposition, I'll connect it. I get no beep. And then I turn it on, I get a beep. Okay, I'm good to go. And if I look at it too, it says 0 ohms. That's important. Here's why. A lot of times you're measuring something like a set of contacts. Could even be the switch. You get inductive kick or other issues, humidity, corrosion, all kinds of stuff. Well, those contacts in that switch will change over time. They will increase the resistance. Contact resistances go up. And you don't have to go up very far to cause problems. If you get, I use the example of a car starter. If you get a 0.1 or even 0.01 ohm resistance between your battery terminal and the battery cable in your car, when you go to start, even if the battery's brand new, fully charged, you go and it's going to go click, 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 click. It's not going to be able to turn over your starter because it needs extremely low resistance to allow that 800 amps to get to that motor. And the same is true of a lot of our industrial systems. If the contact's starting to get some resistance, it may not be enough to pull in a relay coil or something like that. So I'm going to show kind of why this is tricky. I've got this potentiometer, and I'm just going to go from one end to the other. And right now, no beep. It also tells me the resistance. Boy, that's handy that it gives you the resistance. Most multimeters will do this when you're in continuity. Well, if I start lowering that resistance, I get down around 60 ohms on this particular, on a Fluke 115. On a Fluke 115, it basically starts to beep. It'll beep at about 60 ohms or less. Each meter's different, and you can find that info in the specs usually, right? So knowing that, if you're checking across certain situations, like I've got a solenoid here, and I'm thinking, well, maybe this solenoid is in parallel with something. Who knows? But I decide I'm going to check continuity to see no beep because it's 122 ohms. Well, if I'm checking across a lamp, an indicator, and this is in parallel with it, and the lamp is open, well, I'm going to see 122 ohms. I'm not going to get a beep. Those kind of little things, you have to look at the circuit and factor in. If you see a load, you don't know what the resistance of that load is until you go look it up. So you may not get a beep for various reasons. So basically realizing that, different circuits will give you different responses or different devices. If I were to check the continuity across this little pump, 230 ohms, well, same deal. It's basically high enough resistance. It's not beeping. So be aware, continuity test is really that beep is going to go off only if resistance is under some certain value. And as a rule, unless you're checking certain things where it's absolutely going to be a hard fault one way or the other, it's either open or it's connected, look at the number. Look at the number on the meter. I often just go to ohms, honestly, when I'm testing stuff because that beep has fooled so many people. I've watched it fool. I'm almost nervous it'll fool me, and it has fooled me. So be aware of that, and don't just listen. Use your other senses. So hopefully that's helpful. If it is, please share it with others, and let us know what you think, and appreciate your time.